Well, good morning. We are back for hour 2 on Tampa Home Talk. Thank you for listening and continuing to listen to the next hour. If you are just now joining our show, you probably want to catch out the last show in its entirety. It is on pretty much everywhere via a podcast. We are videoing the show. We are Facebook Living, so there's a lot of opportunities for you to pick up that show and kind of dive in where the conversation left off. And one of the things that we were chatting about right before the break is some things to know if you're going to rent your home out, vacation rental, short term. And so a couple of things we talked about was the income actually could be helping a little bit more than you think. And typically people are more respectful, right, than they would be of, say, maybe hotel property. And in the rare occasion something breaks, we were saying that you want to basically take a damage deposit every time. And Ken was like,
Ken
Ken said,
I don't know.
Absolutely not. So I think whenever you're in the vacation rental market, you've got to be really careful. A lot of people, you're allowed to set your own cleaning fee.
Turn them up.
Turn me up.
Actually, just put the microphone.
You're allowed to.
So the funny part, Ken, we didn't tell you this, and I know you host a podcast, so live radio is a little like, woo.
I do,
like
yeah,
when we hear Pat, our listeners can't hear him.
Oh, okay. No, I knew that. No, so what I was saying was we are very conscious of what barriers you put in between your property and it being rented. So damage deposit, oftentimes when you do it, even through Airbnb or VRBO, they won't even let you keep it anyway. So they'll actually refund it. Right. It's kind of a false sense of security. So I suggest not even doing it because if you're going to get to that point, you won't get the money back. So let's say you charge a $300 damage deposit. You won't get the money back anyway. And even if you try to go after it, Airbnb will 9 times out of 10 side with the guest. So you're only going to slow down your own chances of renting your property because you put a higher price tag on it. So that's my 2 cents. We manage a lot of properties.
Yeah, and it could, and I'm not in that game, so honestly,
I'm just letting you know.
Well, you would know about it more than I would, and it makes sense that that's kind of the way it's going, right? Like if it's on there, but basically nobody can see you, Leo. You're not live yet. Hold on, we'll be live in a second on Facebook, and then you can wave. But basically, that's one of the things that we had on our list, and so I can see how that would change over time.
Sure.
And basically, it's not the same, right? Like, so that's kind of one of the things that, okay, yeah, you're decorating it, you're putting stuff in there, but you take the risk if something gets broken. Not that big of a deal, I would imagine.
And question for you, does that rule with Airbnb that they're probably going to give it back regardless, does that change by the country that you're in?
I don't know.
Okay.
We manage in the U.S. only.
Okay.
So I'm not going to weigh in on other countries.
Well, I know Sarah, one of our partners here for Tampa Home Talk and the mortgage firm. She's our preferred lender here at Tampa Home Talk. Her daughter actually is studying abroad in France. She's in school there. And she had some type of an issue, I know, with Airbnb as well in the rental that she was in, but it was a longer-term rental. And so I don't really know what happened, but they said she was having parties and stuff. And, like, if you know this girl and you met her, there's no way. She is so, like, to herself, and she's met a little boyfriend over there, so I can tell you without even being there with 100% certainty this girl was not throwing parties.
Well, what I say is, like, you need to understand that vacation renting, most people think they're like, people are going to throw parties at my property, which is actually quite the opposite. All of these websites, whether it be HomeAway, VRBO, Airbnb, they have a double rating system. So if any of your listeners have ever used Airbnb or have used Uber or Lyft, we are kind of understanding this like 5-star system, right? The driver, either 5-star, 3 stars, 1 star is you, and then vice versa. So this is a really nice accountability system.
Yeah, so slow down because you ran through that kind of quick, and I don't want the person listening to miss that.
Yeah, so
not only did you get to rate the place you're in, but they get to rate you as the guest.
Absolutely, right. So as a host, what's really nice is Hostee, our company, never will allow someone who doesn't have a positive rating from another host previously. So 9 times out of 10,
so
if
I have any type of a bad rating at all, I'm not allowed?
No, we're going to require your rating to be 4.5 stars or higher.
Okay.
So you can make limitations, but you don't want a 2-star rated person. And most likely, Airbnb is not even going to prioritize their ability to book it for you because that's nice, right? They had one bad experience. I think most of the damages